Hey, 501. I hope everyone had a great week 7 and looking forward to week 8. It is the start of the first or the last week of your first course here with Concordia. And just hoping everyone had a great week and had a great Sunday afternoon. And I'm looking forward to this last week where I can get your big projects turned in and get to look through that. I will say, going back to the discussion post, it was a great week. I know you didn't have an assignment per se this past week, but your discussion posts were great, and I just really do appreciate being able to be a part of your discussions. I learn as much as you guys do, I'm sure, throughout the discussion posts. I want to start our week 8 with another quote from the character of Frank Costello in The Departed. I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want the environment to be a product of me. I love this quote because it really takes the power back, right? Sometimes in education, you can be at a hard assignment, in a hard grade level, at a site that you necessarily didn't choose, and you can really allow that environment to affect you. Or you can choose to whatever environment you're in, because sometimes we don't have control of that environment. You get to influence that. So it really does, it's a power move, right? You get to pull that power in and say, I'm going to influence the environment I'm in and not let that environment influence me in a negative way. And so let's jump right into it. Week 8, it does look a lot like week 7, but we're diving a little bit deeper on conditions for innovation, tech issues, and then Common Core standards and tech integration. And the word innovation can be kind of a buzzword in education. Not kind of, it is a buzzword in education. It's thrown around a lot. But really, for innovation to occur, people have to feel safe. And whether that's teachers or students, or anyone, right? You can't innovate unless you feel safe and feel supported and feel like you can take risks. And so it's a great week as far as content goes. The Robinson chapters, there's 2 chapters there, and then all the what I like to call quick hit through the Google information, on literature circles, using Google Sites and YouTube. There's a lot of great content. I will say Google Sites has really changed. If you've not played around with the new Google Sites, it's amazing. You can do so much with it. And I know, like at our site, interactive science notebooks are a big hit. And it's really easy for the students to build digital portfolios using Google Sites. And then YouTube's amazing too, right? They just brought back the Creator Studio, and you can make playlists. Like, this class has all my classes have playlists. So, you can get notifications and all that kind of good stuff. It really is, content-wise, a great week. It's finishing very, very strong. So this week we have 2 discussion board questions, but really one. Well, no, there's 2. So first of all, the first one, you're going to write a letter to the young teacher, to you, right? So you're writing to, the young teacher. And I like to say you, even though that's not what it states, but like in the context of what did you wish you knew that first month that you were almost a teacher, in the context of 21st century education vision. So a little bit different this week. You have to be done by Wednesday, not Thursday. So it needs to be submitted by Wednesday, and your peer responses are due Friday, because the class is over Friday at 11:59. So anything submitted after that is not counted. So make sure you get that in on time. And so the second one, you're sharing a link to your LAUSD presentation. Make sure your settings are anyone with the link can view, not just anyone within your domain, because my email and my domain is different than yours. So make sure it's anyone with link can view. And I know there's only 4 of you and you all have the same project. Please all, I know this sounds so silly, but make sure each of you post it. That way I have a way to give you a grade on that for the discussion. And then you guys are going to have a conversation and still respond to 2 peers by Friday, which I know seems a little silly, but typically this class doesn't just have 4 people in it. And then the last big assignment, right? Your big project, and I'll get to that in 1 minute. We'll pop over there. But because I'm going to end over there, I just want to let you guys know that I end pretty much all my classes with this quote: "You owe the world your gifts. You just have to figure out how to use them." And that's from the character of Uncle Ben in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. And I just love that quote because one, it admits that you have gifts and talents. But 2, it's not innate that you know exactly how to use them. So part of what you're doing in this program, I would assume, is to help yourself learn how to use those gifts and talents you already have. So keep up the good work. And I know all 4 of you are finishing just class 1, but class 2. So it's going to get easier from here because I don't think you'll be doubled up moving forward, and it should be a much smoother ride. That being said, let's pop over to the assignment. So you guys have seen this probably 3 or 4 weeks now on my little videos here. And the one thing this final week, as you're building this and moving forward, is really focus in on, this gives you all the details on what to do, but focus in on, here's the rubric and here's how it's going to be judged, right? So, and I know I've gone over this multiple times, and you see right here, like your peer response and discussion board are part of the points. So make sure you do that so I can give you all 4 out of 4 on that right there, because we want to make sure that happens. And so I know I'll be getting emails on for specific questions, and just keep those coming. Whenever you have a question on this one, just shoot it out to me. It's a great project because typically what happens with technology when something doesn't go right, it's not the technology and it's not the people, it's the rollout. 90% of the time, and I just made that number up, but 90% of the time, I'm going to just say that when something goes wrong in education with technology, when it's not, once again, it's not the tech and it's not the people, it's the rollout was done poorly. And so, LAUSD was just doing what they thought was best at that time, and there were a lot of lessons learned. So I'm really excited to see this and see what you guys come up with. That being said, have a great week 8, and I hope you guys have a phenomenal next class. I believe your next class is 521, but I'm not for sure on your path. But I'll have a great program moving forward here with Concordia.